Ielts vocabulary related to relatives and friends. Hi, I'm Navneet Chandra from Just Evaluate. I'm an IELTS and PTE trainer, and today I'll be taking up vocabulary related to relatives and friends. Now, this is very useful as you can use it in your writing section as well as speaking. Okay, so let's begin. I'll just share my screen with you. Hope you all can see my screen. Okay. Now, at times students get confused as to what you mean by family size. So it doesn't mean that the whole family is fat or thin. No, it means the number. That is how many people are there in the house. If it's a nuclear family, that's a small family, so maybe just parents and children. If it's a joint family, then of course you'll have your extended family as well staying with you. Now you can see the sentence family size has decreased over some time due to financial constraints. So it's easily understood. Okay, next is upbringing. Upbringing is the way in which a child is brought up in a family by his parents or grandparents. So, how a child is brought up, what training he is given, what sort of moral values, ethics, what he's taught about his tradition, culture. So all that comes in this. Like, what sort of an upbringing have you got? Like, how were you brought up? So the sentence is he rebelled against his strict upbringing. Maybe his parents were very, very strict, so he rebelled. That is, he went against that sort of upbringing. Next is sibling. Sibling means a brother or a sister. Can be an elder brother or elder sister, or it can be younger brother or younger sister. So any brother or sister is called a sibling. So there was a lot of sibling rivalry among the three brothers. Sibling rivalry is quite common. That is, maybe there was a dispute over property, or just like that, there's some rivalry between brothers and sisters. Okay, next is inherit. Inherit can have two different types of meanings. One is that you inherit something from your parents, maybe some physical characteristics like good looks. Now, second is you inherit some property or money which you get after the person's death. Like supposing your great grandfather or grandfather owns a huge bungalow or owns a vast property or owns many large businesses. So after his death, you will inherit. Or maybe it's your father's business, and after he's passed away, that will come to you. So that is also inherit. So here the sentence is she has inherited her mother's good looks. And here Raj inherited a vast business empire from his grandfather. That is after his death, he got the empire. Now let's go on to the next, that is extended family. Now, what do you mean by extended family? So, it includes your parents, your grandparents, then your aunts, uncles, cousins, all of them. They can either be living in the same house, like what we call a joint family, or they can be living separately, close by, or scattered, wherever. Like you say that she grew up surrounded by a large extended family. So there were lots of people in the extended family who were there when she was growing up. Next is single parent. So a single parent is just one parent. That is, the parent could be a divorcee, a widow, or a widower, or maybe just not married, but bringing up the child all by himself or herself. So the example, like I mentioned earlier, a divorced person or a widow or a widower, Then sentence. His mom worked hard as a single parent to provide him with all the luxuries in life. Okay. Next word, adolescence. Now, what is adolescence? By adolescence, we mean basically the teenage years. When a small child stops being a child and slowly graduates into adulthood, where so many physical changes, mental changes, lots of changes take place, and finally, gradually, the child moves into the adulthood, basically the teenage years. So that is what is adolescence. Next is innate, an ability or quality a person is born with. That is inborn. At times, what happens is a person is a good painter. Nobody has taught him, but he's as it is good at art. So then you say that he has an inborn talent. So that is his innate talent. So here, he has an innate talent for music. Now, a person can be intelligent, though he hasn't learned anything from anyone. But his intelligence quotient, that is IQ, is very high. So it could be because it is in his genes. His father or mother or grandparents are very intelligent. So that's how it is an inborn trait. Now, the next word is inherent. So that means being a permanent part of someone or something that you have within you. Like the sentence is, I have an inherent distrust for liars. That is, I do not trust liars. That means I've always been like that. So it is a thing which I permanently have. That is, I just don't like lying. Okay, next, if we come to friends, main thing is peer influence. What do you mean by peer influence? Peer means a group of the same age where socially you play together, you study together, you work together. So, the strong influence of a group, especially of children on each other. Examples can be like people can motivate you to have some healthy habits, to have nutritional food, to overcome fears, be goal oriented, and also peer pressure can also have a negative influence where you can be taught many negative things like smoking, drinking, bullying, cheating, lying, stealing, and many more. So the sentence is teenagers at an impressionable age mostly act under the influence of their peers because their peers will goad them that, okay, you can't do this. So then, under that influence, the child tries to do that even though he knows that it is wrong. But yes, they can influence you in a positive way also, where if a child is studious, can motivate the other friends in his group to study with him or to study at the same pace and do well. Hope you're making a note of these words and adding to your vocabulary. As in most of the speaking part, you will be asked questions on friends, on peer group, on innate things that you're born with, then siblings, and all these words when we come to this topic. And even in writing, a question can be asked on your upbringing. So you should be aware of all these words. Keep making sentences of your own of these words. So that is how it will get ingrained in your brain and you'll remember all these words and increase your vocabulary. So my next video again will be on vocabulary and I'll be taking up a different topic.